This is The Voice. We're loving North Devon.
The strangest taste around is the excitement generated by the musical noise called jazz. This strange music has been accused of everything, including the bad weather.
Hey, everybody, this is bassist and vocalist Nathan East checking in from Los Angeles, California, right here in America. And you're listening to my friend, the Jazz Cat, Roger Lee.
Jazz Moods on The Voice with Roger Lee.
For North Devon, this is The Voice.
And I would like to play a little tune I just composed not so long ago.
Miss Billie Holiday.
Bird.
The music called jazz.
Here we go.
Hey there, this is Canadian pop crooner Matt Forbes from sunny Los Angeles, and you're listening to the jazz cat Roger Lee on Jazz Moods.
Feel the vibe, feel the terror, feel the pain, it's driving me insane. I can't fake, for God's sake, why am I driving in the wrong lane? Trouble is my middle name, but in the end I'm not too bad. Can someone tell me if it's wrong to be so mad about you? Mad about you. Are you the fishy wine that will give me a headache in the morning? Or just a dark blue landmine that will explode without a decent warning? Give me all your true hate and I'll translate it in our bed into never seen passion, that's why I am so mad about you. Mad about you. Mad. Trouble is your middle name, but in the end you're not too bad. Can someone tell me if it's wrong to be so mad about you? Mad about you. Mad about you. Mad about you. Mad about you.
We're mad about you. The one, the only, Mr. Matt Forbes.
Give me all your true hate and I'll translate it in a bed into never seen passion. That is why I am so mad about you. Mad about you. Mad about you. I'm so mad about you.
Produced by England's Callum Ow. Should be a James Bond theme, I feel. Ready? Well, we're mad about you. Are we sitting tight? Let's do the countdown.
5, 4,
3, 2,
1.
Good evening. Yes, good evening, good evening. Welcome along tonight. It's Wednesday night, and that means one thing, and one thing only. It's Jazz Moods. Well, yes, it's Jazz Moods, with a tinge of sadness. As ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't heard already, this is the last one. Yep. After many, many, many years and a plethora of shows, more than I care to remember, it comes to an end. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and enjoy yourself. It's Jazz Moods, the last. So the Jazz Box request artist going in the Jazz Votes, as is the last one, I'm going to put everybody in there. Jazz artists, past, present and future are going to be going into the Jazz Votes, because without these artists, there wouldn't be a world of jazz. My hidden gem, all those times when I've gone into my den of iniquity and rummaged through my vinyl, yes, vinyl, and CDs to keep you excited and keep you on the edge of the seat. There have been so many, and I've enjoyed playing them and digging them out and bringing back good reminiscent memories of them. Jazz speeds moves around the world. Well, literally, we have tiptoed and globe-trotted right around the world over the last few years, playing new music from all over the world. And boy, have there been some interesting pieces. My jazz collaboration tonight is a classic. Yep. Arturo Sandoval and the late Al Jarreau. That'll be in our second hour. I'll tell you what. Have your tissues ready, because it is a classic. My cover it piece, this is where I take a piece of music redone in a jazz style and relaunch it tonight. The wonderful Steve Tyrrell, and he's done a great cover of that classic song, Ain't That a Kick in the Head? I've had amazing, wonderful messages from artists. We've informed what was happening from Los Angeles, New York, Florida, the Netherlands, Italy, South Africa, even one from Havana, Cuba. Artists saying, thank you, the Jazz Cat, thank you for promoting our music, interviewing us, and keeping jazz alive in the UK. We opened up tonight's show with Richard Smith. He was going to be with us in round about July time. We're going to be chatting about his brand new album. We opened up the show tonight with a song called Digging It. Or Digging It. So my thanks goes to all the lovely people from... I had a long chat with on Monday night down at the North Devon Jazz Club, down at the Beavers in Appledore. They always meet down there every fortnight. They've had some great incredible Sam Spillett on Monday night. Jim Mullen 2 weeks ago, my hero. And I had a long chat with them on that, and they're obviously very, very gutted. Of course, this is the avenue of promoting the jazz club down there. Jazz in North Devon. So from next week, 90s pop music. So before the messages start to come in, inquiring at what's happened to Jazz Mood. Well, apparently it's been felt by the powers to be that the Norwegian Flugelhorn Backpacker Society, the South American Panamanian Pan Flute Group, and the Germanian students from Indonesia aren't listening to Jazz Mood. How dare them not listen? Also on tonight, we have very, very privileged and very honoured a Canadian guitarist called Rob Tarrick has sent me a copy of his brand new album called Perspective. It's a brilliant album. It's not released in the world until the 30th. And he sent me a message, said, Roger, Jazz Mood, you can have the premiere 2 days before the rest of the world. I'm going to play Perspective, title track from the album. Great album. He even included in there his guitar pick. He signed it. Brilliant stuff. Are you ready? Here we go. So right with you now until 11 o'clock. The best music for jazz lovers, connoisseurs, new jazz lovers. The best jazz music through the decades. Yep, life is definitely jazz music. More jazz variety than sand on your local beach. You can find that tomorrow. It's going to be warmer. Dick Morrissey, Jim Mullen, Captain Axe, Mr. Sax. Morrisley and Mullen from Cape Wrath. It's Bristol Boogie.
Roger Lee, the Jazz Cat.
On Jazz Moods.
Hi there, this is Canadian contemporary jazz guitarist Rob Tardik from Toronto, and you are listening to the Jazz Cat Roger Lee. Enjoy.
Here's the premiere. Before the rest of the world gets hold of it, this is Rob Tardik and Perspective. It's only a perspective. It's Rob Tardik. Title track from the album of the same name. World premiere. I played this track. This is a track called A New Day. This is Duncan Miller, the late Duncan Miller. He was my first ever interview many, many years ago here on The Voice. He rang in. He just released his new album. He rang in and it was a great interview. Very sad. Around about 4 or 5 years ago, a very good jazz friend of mine contacted me and said that sadly he'd passed away. So my first ever interview, one of many, 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 as you know, is A New Day, Duncan Miller. The late Duncan Miller. My first ever interview. He started life in a band called the Blue Mercedes. True. That track's called A New Day. It's 29 minutes past 9 on a Wednesday night. It's Jazz Moods with me, Roger Lee, a.k.a. the Jazz Cat.
Roger Lee.
On The Voice.
Yep, it's me on The Voice. I play this one to my best friend. This is to Todd in Florida. This This is a bit of a Pat Metheny, and he took me to see Pat Metheny whilst I was in America a few years back, and we sat there and we had a great show. This is called Last Train Home. Pride and Possession, I've actually got a manuscript of this piece of music, and Pat Metheny has actually signed it, and it sits in their pride and place in my office. Todd, enjoy this. The wonderful, the fabulous Pat Metheny from the album Still Live Talking. That's Last Train Home. Well, I shan't be getting the last train home tonight. I'm driving. Pat Metheny won more Grammys than Elvis Presley and the Beatles put together. Wonderful stuff.
Hi, this is Ollie Silk, and you're listening to Jazz Moods with Roger Lee.
Thank you, Ollie. Ollie Silk, my most interviewed person. He's been on the show 4 times over the years. English pianist, and here's a piece of music called At Your Service, to which I have been loyal at your service over the years. Silk.
Hi, this is Jack Lee, jazz guitarist from South Korea, and you are listening to Roger Lee, the Jazz Cat, on Jazz Moods.
Jack Lee, no relation to me. Brilliant album, had this one sent in from Tokyo, couldn't get a copy anywhere. It's Bolero, and this is Oblivion. Oblivion? Ovulation. Lee from South Korea with Bob James on piano. It's Oblivion. Now I've got there's about 1,300 Jazz Moods followers, and a lot of them have been asking questions, of course, looking on my Facebook page at forthcoming interviews, including the lovely Emma from Barnstable, who's doing amazing stuff, now moved to Berlin. Britain's best jazz guitarist, Jim Mullen, met him a couple of weeks ago. We have Mindy Abair, Claire Till, English jazz singer, Russ Freeman of the Rippingtons, Eric Essex. These interviews, I've contacted all these artists. They have been, I'm going to use the word postponed, because I don't like the word cancelled. They've been very understanding, and hopefully keep following me, and we'll get these interviews under our belt. I know you're as keen to hear them as I am to present them. "12 minutes to 10, taking you right through to 11 o'clock tonight, here on Jazz Moods, with me, Roger Lee, a.k.a. the Jazz Cat.
'Roger Lee, the Jazz Cat.
On Jazz Moods.
This is singer Monica Mancini from Los Angeles, and you're listening to Roger Lee, the Jazz Cat.
One of my proudest moments was last year interviewing Monica Mancini, the daughter of the late, great Henry Mancini. I was the only person outside of America she agreed to be interviewed.
Where has my love gone? How can I go on? It seems, dear love, you've gone away. Where is my spirit? I'm nowhere near it. Oh yes, my love has gone astray. But I'll blame it on the sun that didn't shine. I'll blame it on the wind I'll blame it on the time that never was enough. I'll blame it on the tide and the sea. But my heart blames it on me. Who poured the love out? What made this bitter doubt? Is peace not here for me to see? I wish I could tell you what I am feeling, but words won't come from me to speak. But I'll blame it on the sun that didn't fill the sky. I'll blame it on the birds and the trees. I'll blame it on the day that ended once too soon. I'll blame it on the nights that could not be. But my heart blames it on me.
Monica Mancini featuring Stevie Wonder on harmonics. And blame it on the sun.
So I'll blame it on the sun that didn't fill the sky. I'll blame it on the birds and the trees. I'll blame it on the day that ended once too soon. I'll blame it on the nights that could not be. But my heart blames it on me.
Hi, this is Steve Tyrell, and you're listening to the Jazz Cat. Roger Lee on Jazz Moves.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't a little kick in the head?
Steve Tyrell, and ain't that a kick in the head?
Ain't that a kick in the head? Ain't that a hole in the boat? My head just the beginning. My life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me we'll be wed. She's picked out a king-size bed. I couldn't feel any better, or I'd be sick. So tell me quick, oh, ain't love a kick? Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head?
Hi, this is Miles Gilderdale from Acoustic Alchemy, and you're listening to Jazz Moods with Roger Lee.
Acoustic Alchemy. Seen him appear twice in London, an amazing band, and got mentioned last year as a way of saying thanks for all the hard work that Jazz Moods has done to promote their music and to promote their shoes. This is Passion Play. Acoustic Alchemy. A bit of Passion Play. First hour of this week's Jazz Mood's over. We have another 60 minutes coming your way. Stay with us. Some classic tracks coming your way.
Hi, this is American jazz singer Vanessa Rubin, all the way from Brooklyn, New York. And if you are listening to my voice right now, then you must be listening to the jazz cat Roger Lee on Jazz Moods. Keep swinging, baby.
Roger Lee, the Jazz Cat.
On Jazz Moods.
Hey, it's American jazz guitarist Blake Aaron from Los Angeles, California, and you're listening to Roger Lee, the Jazz Cat, on Jazz Moods.
Now, Blake Aaron will be appearing at the Pizza Express in Holborn tomorrow night, and I'm going to be there with my fabulous wife, along with Selena Albright. Oh, I mean, she's going to be singing. She's not sitting on a table or anything. Here's a bit of Crush. Karen on Jazz Moods, a bit of Crush. Just join us at 10 o'clock, just finished work. I hope you had a good day. Driving home now, a bit of jazz. Whatever happens, feel good. This is where the heart of jazz music lives. Well, tomorrow night, the Pizza Express Holborn. It's a sellout, sorry. With guest star Selena Albright. It's going to be a cracking show. Can't wait. Oh, taste buds are going already. Right, just slow it down a bit now. This is a bit of foreplay, and all I want to do.
Yeah, the day was long, lots going on, but now it's me and you. Let's put on a song, we can do no wrong. Tonight is ours. Take my hand, come away with me. Understand, you're the one, no one else will do. No, no, no. Loving you is all I wanna do. All I ever want is for us to carry on. Hold me close and don't let go. Take me where we've never been before. Loving you is all I wanna do. Take my hand, come and go with me. Understand, you're the one, no one else will do. But you, loving you is all I wanna do, baby. All I ever want is for us to carry on. Hold me close and don't let go. Take me where we've never been before. Loving you is all I wanna do. All I wanna do. All I ever want is you.
Roger Lee.
On The Voice.
Hi, this is Claire Martin, and you're listening to Jazz Moods with Roger Lee.
Thought I'd be completely lost through the never-ending days. Knew that there would be a cost and a price I'd have to pay. Surely there would be no sun, only gray forever rain. In the web of lies you spun, I just played the losing game. But everything I thought I'd feel, the tears and long goodbyes, see the writing on the wall, but you don't even cross my mind. And much to my surprise, I hardly ever think of you at all. Out of sight, out of mind. Though you gave me such a thrill, I'll just leave it all behind. And I'll take that bitter pill, though I never stood a chance, and I didn't read the signs. I'll turn back for one last glance, and apparently I'm fine. Just fine.
The fabulous Claire Martin. Apparently, I'm fine.
Hi, this is jazz pianist and composer David Benoit from California, and you are listening to Jazz Moods with Roger Lee.
The wonderful David Benoit, former guest. Been with him a couple of times on the show, and here's You're Amazing.
Exercise is important, but so is the space you do it in. For quiet exercise space, small classes or one-to-one training, visit Fortis Performance Centre. With state-of-the-art facilities, free weights and cardio with expert advice, specialising in injury prevention and recovery, looking after all aspects of your health. Free parking and 24-hour access for quiet exercise when you need it. Fortis Performance Centre, Unit 9, Chivener Business Park. Call Barnstable 611 265 or search Facebook.
Live across North Devon, this is The Voice.
Roger Lee.
On The Voice.
Hi, this is American jazz singer Darden Purcell from Washington, D.C., and you are listening to the Jazz Cat, Roger Lee. Skies look gray to me. And trouble begins to brew. Whenever the winter winds become too strong, I concentrate on you. When fortune cries, nay, nay to me, and people declare you are through, whenever the blues become my only song, I concentrate on you, on your smile so sweet, so tender. When at first my kiss you declined, on the light in your eyes when you surrender, and once again our arms intertwined. And when wise men, they say to me that love's young dream never comes true, to prove that even wise men can be wrong, I concentrate on you.
Darden Purcell. Loads of lovely messages coming in. This has actually been sent to me from Darden from Washington, D.C. It arrived a couple of days ago. Dear Roger, thank you so much for playing my music on your show, on Jazz Moods, for the wonderful interview and everything you've done for jazz artists all around the world. My sincere gratitude, Darden. Darden. There we are.
And when wise men, they say to me
I concentrate on you, and you only. Darden Purcell from Washington, D.C.
Hey, this is American smooth jazz saxophonist, composer, and radio personality based in California. My name is Dave Koz, and you're listening to the Jazz Cat, Roger Lee, on Jazz Moods.
This is Dave Koz. Come into my dreams. Do you want to be part of my dreams? Featuring Bob James on piano. Dave Koz, Bob James, come into my dreams.
Jazz Moods with Roger Lee on The Voice.
Hello, this is bassist and composer Christian Demasonis. They call me Big New York. And you're listening to my friend Roger Lee, a.k.a. the Jazz Cat.
Great interview with this guy a couple of years ago. This is Christian Demasonis. Here's a track called You Only Live Twice. Where have I heard that before? only live twice. Well, I'm sure that Jazz Moods will live more than twice. Christian Demerzetta's The Big New York. Coming up to 10:30. 31 minutes left of Jazz Moods. I play this. This is one of the very, very first tracks I played on Jazz Moods many, many years ago. This is David Sanborn and Try a Little Tenderness.
Thank you.
The late, great David Sanborn. Jazz Moods, taking you through to 11 o'clock tonight here with me, Roger Lee, a.k.a. the Jazz Cat. The Summer Knows. Here's Marilyn Scott.
The summer smiles, the summer knows, and unashamed she sheds her clothes. The summer soothes the summer sky, and lovingly she warms the sand on which you lie. The summer knows, the summer wise, she sees the doubts within your eyes, and so she takes her summertime, tells the moon to wait and the sun to linger, twist the world round her summer finger, lets you see the wonder of it all. There's little more for her to tell. One last caress, it's time to dress for
Jazz Moods on The Voice with Roger Lee.
Hi, this is American jazz singer Jane Monheit coming to you from my home in Los Angeles, and you're listening to Roger Lee, the Jazz Cat.
Yeah. Too Much in Love. David Benoit. Jane Monheit at 22:11.
Sunshine through the curtains, early breezes in the air. I was dreaming of my lover like I do when he's not there. Over morning coffee, I imagine his embrace, his kiss upon my shoulder. I can lose my sense of time and space when I'm near him in a haze. Not a word to say, isn't any way to be too in love. Love gives life its magic as it captivates your soul. It's the flowers in my garden, it's the sugar in my bowl. Tenderness and laughter so profound. Desire beyond all reason. When he speaks, I hear the sound of sweet soulful music. What a rush when the groove kicks in. Isn't any sin to be too in love?
Jazz Moods on The Voice with Roger Lee.
Hi, this is Arturo Sandoval, and you're listening to the Jazz Cat, Roger Lee, on Jazz Moods.
The pyramids, the China Wall, I will be there after all. Mountains crumble, stars may fall, I'll still be there after all. There was a time I knew that no matter come what may, love would prevail. And then, inside the dreams I knew, came the question lovers fear, can true love fare? I would miss the childhood wish, and haven't I some to you of a knight in armor bright, faithful and true, true to you, my darling. After all, I will be the one to hold you in my arms. After all, I will be the one to hold you. I will be the one to hold you in my arms. In my arms, my arms, my arms. I know in my heart and mind that no matter come what may, love will survive. See, love is the author of space and time, and keeps the galaxy and each sparrow alive. And the love that heals the wound after the war is through, and like a knight in armor bright, who'll be faithful and true, true to you, my darling. After all, I will be the one to hold you in my arms. Sing. After all, I will be the one to hold you. I will be the one to hold you in my arms. In my arms, in my arms, in my. Come on, Arturo, let's go, baby.
The fabulous Arturo Sandoval. They made a film about this guy's life with Al Jarreau, and it's After All.
I will be the one to hold you, and I'm on a one to hold you in my arms, in my heart. After all.
Hi, I'm Peter White, and you're listening to Jazz Moods with Roger Lee.
Thank you, Peter. The wonderful Peter White, as time is ticking away, just over 10 minutes left of Jazz Moods. Till I see you again. What a poignant message. Peter White will be appearing live in the Stables during June in Milton Keynes. And the Pizza Express in Holborn in October. The minutes are ticking by now. The wonderful Peter White and a song simply entitled Do I See You Again?
Roger Lee
on The Voice.
Hi there, this is British jazz singer Joe Harrop from London. You're listening to the Jazz Cat, Roger Lee, on Jazz Moods. Enjoy.
We will do, Joe. To virtually finish off the show, and it's been an amazing time here with Jazz Moods. This song is called Goodbye.
Somewhere or just too high, but I can't remember if we said goodbye. Every now and then, just like the soft breeze blowing up through the Caribbean. Most Novembers I break down and cry, but I can't remember if we said goodbye. But I recall all of them nights down in Mexico, one place I may never go in my life again. 'Cause I just off somewhere, or maybe just too high. But I can't remember if we said goodbye. No, I can't remember if we said goodbye. 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 Remember if we say goodbye.
Hi, this is American jazz pianist Bob James, and you're listening to Jazz Moods with Roger Lee.
Well, that's it. Joe Harrop, very appropriately with Goodbye. I'm not going to say goodbye. It's been 8 wonderful years. I've enjoyed every single moment of it. And as they say with any cat, they got 8, 9 lives. Well, I've still got a few lives to go. Follow me on Facebook page and you'll find out my next venture, wherever it'll be. And I'd love to have you back with me again. From me, the Jazz Cat, Roger Lee, Jazz Moods. I thank you all, the listeners, the artist, everybody. And until next time, take care, look after yourself.